like let's transition. Let's talk about
Okay.
mindset. So mindset is really, really a big topic for me with regards to legacy, with regards to growth and evolution of us as people.
Hmm.
So, you know, you're in your early 30s right now. So
Hmm.
let's compare the eras of Greg, right? Let's compare your teenage years, let's
Hmm.
compare your 20s, and let's compare what you experienced so far in your 30s. How has your mindset changed? And when I say mindset with regards to personal decisions, friendships, professional decisions, health and wellness, anything that is a life choice, anything that is an experience, how has your mindset changed from your teenage 20s to 30s?
Oh, yeah, it was funny because I'm very much in the project management field and, a lot of projects things. So there was actually a common phase thing that really came to mind. It's forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning.
Okay.
So high school was definitely the forming phase. I was forming things as far as processing my ideas, processing my understandings, processing, you know, how to even think about life and anything like that. So growing into my high school, it was definitely a forming phase. I felt very, especially in the 2 to 7 is usually the most impactful experiences, and you deal through traumas and things like that. But definitely throughout that phase, and even in high school, I was forming a lot of ideas about the world, about people, about others, about how I can impact, right? And then after I got through the forming, I did a lot of storming. College was that phase. It was like, yeah, definitely, in my 20s, I was struggling. Like I was going through a whole bunch of stuff because there were certain internal ideologies that I was trying to figure out for myself. Like, okay, is this sufficient? Is this not as sufficient? Like, what do I need to do? How do I need to develop myself? So it was a struggle. But then I actually got from the forming and the storming, and then actually I'm in the norming phase right now.
Okay.
I'm in the norming phase where I've actually in my 30s. There's certain things that have become more normal for me. And I know that like by my 40s, I'm definitely going to get into that performing phase where I'm going to really be efficient at what I do and I'm going to specialize at what I do. But I think that now it's actually become more normal. I've settled down a whole lot. And you remember me, I was like energized, buddy. I was going all over the place. No, 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 no. No, Playboy. I need to slow down. Need to slow down. So
No
that
breaks. That's what it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now for me it's just like we're slowing down. We need to, really pause and reflect and organize ourselves and say what I need to do. How do I need to reset myself? What I need to get organized? How can I help somebody else? And that's really where I am right now. But man, I'll tell you, it's been quite a journey so far.
So I'll give you two broad examples within this space, right? Professional, like from the professional point of view, what was important to you about a career when you were younger compared to now?
Professionally, I was looking for a high paying job. I was always looking for a high paid job. But then what I realized is it's not really about the money, it's really about the value.
Yeah.
If you provide more value for somebody else, they will pay you. Doesn't matter. But if you are just thinking about the money, they're not going to pay you because you're not providing something valuable. And that's what made the difference for me. I'm like, why? Well, why am I not being given the type of compensation that I actually want? It's really about, am I doing something of value? Am I providing value to somebody else? Am I making a difference for somebody else? And that's where my mindset changed. It was like a paradigm shift. I was like, you know what? I don't need to be like feeling like I need to work a job to feel fulfilled. Why don't I do something that I'm passionate about and feel fulfilled with that? And they're going to pay me for that. Better believe it. Because I actually feel passionate about it. It's what wakes me up in the morning. And I'm like, okay, I can make a difference. So yeah, that's where the shift came.
Okay. Now, friendships and relationships. What's different between who you associated yourself with, or who you might have wanted to associate yourself with from teenage to 20s to even like present? Like, what's changed in terms of maturity?
My maturity has changed because of the fact that my people have changed. I've connected to people that actually have the results that I desire. And that's what makes the difference, because, even having this conversation with you, Andrew, I said, man, this guy is just killing it. Like, he's doing some things behind the scenes. Like, I like being around these people. I got to sit with them. I got to be in that environment. And that's what really makes a difference. Being in the environments where you're around people that have the success that you desire, and then you actually get a burning desire from them, because it's like you've been in their environments, you've seen their experiences, you've asked questions so you can understand from their perspective. That really makes a difference to shaping on how you approach things and say, this is why I'm different than this other person, and I'm not as successful as this other person, or I'm not at the place where this other person is, because I have to change some things within me. And so that really helped me with my relationship. So I'm always going around people that I actually desire that type of goal or that type of pursuit or aspirations.
I wish I had a little bit of that mindset even at your age, right? So you have 10 years on me. I've evolved, from my teens, 20s, 30s, and now I'm in my early 40s. To me, it's personally understanding who is grateful for you and surrounding yourself around the right type of energy and people that actually want to see you win. Not like behind the scenes want to see you lose, but like want to say, hey, I'm riding with you. But people that want to see you win. And then the people that don't, they're welcome to be around in your space, but it doesn't mean that you have to devote them as essential energy that you have to give towards. So It took me a while. Like, I didn't feel that way in my 30s. So like the fact that you're saying that now, like in my 30s, I was always optimistic and just opening my energy and my space to people to be a part of my journey. Hey, like, let's do this together. Let's collaborate. Let's go here. Like, I was always about the experience with people. But it took me later into my 30s and early 40s that I started realizing I'm expending my energy towards the wrong people, meaning the volume of people that I was expending it towards. And it's a whole nother subject in itself. We could do a whole show by that, just on that topic alone. But it took a lot of rejection and a lot of various things that happened in my life, and things that happened full circle with regards to things that people have done, to make me understand the redirection part. And while it might seem very simple to say rejection turning into redirection, it's just experiencing it, just like you said, sleeping outside on the streets. It's experiencing it firsthand to say enough. It's experiencing it enough to say no. Oh my God, when you can tell someone no, or when you don't become available for someone that expects you to be available all the time, watch how the paradigm shifts there. Like, it's amazing when people always expect you to be around and all of a sudden you're not. And then it's like the record just scratches and they're like, what happened? Where's Drew? Put it together and you understand why. And you have to understand that this gratitude, all the things we talk about, it's a two-way street. And if it's not, then you're going to understand that you're more taking and using and being opportunistic than being grateful and paying it forward and living in that mindset and space. So I would just say kudos to you for having this maturity in your mind. You're like the rewind button for me. Like at 33, I wish I had small elements of that in terms of resistance and change, because I was way too open and optimistic. And I don't want to change that about me. Like, I'll say this, I'll never want to change what happened there, because I had to experience those things in order to make the change in the present.